Hey everybody, this is Dr. Myers, Dr. Derm. Good afternoon. We are all prepped for a cyst on the temple, and we'll see exactly what type it is, but it looks like it's ready to go. Let's do it.
Was he?
And we moved to California like when I was 2, so that's where I was raised.
Isn't that ironic? I was raised in California the first couple years, and then we moved here when I was, a little bit older. So.
Well, when I graduated back in '74, we hadn't been back here until 8 years ago to come to our son's wedding, and we could not believe how Utah had changed. It used to be American Fork was a real, a city, and
yeah.
Pleasant Grove and Orem, and that's all just one big city.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just incredible how much growth has happened around here. I mean, I remember going to Alpine back in the day.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got in there, and it was such a good.
I'd move there just because of how beautiful it is. But the first time I went there on business, a little town, and all of a sudden there was just one main street, and here comes a snowmobile coming down the main street. I go, you gotta be kidding me! Driving around with regular cars. It got cold there.
Yeah.
My wife said, no, we're not going to Wisconsin.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I don't know. It's like I feel like. I don't remember it being so crazy cold. It is cold, and I think I would recognize it more now, but before I'm just like, I wake up, I go to school, and, so there's a little lipoma. Go to school, and then you're inside all day, and it's okay.
I remember, I've probably been there about 7 or 8 times on business, and I remember staying in this motel, and I went back in the evening, and I couldn't get my key in the door. And
that did happen to me.
And I didn't know what the deal was. Did they change the locks on me or something? And so a gal came down from the main office, and she just got down on me and started blowing into the key.
A little hot. That's so funny. So every time you tell these stories, it reminds you of the exact same thing. That happened to me, and I couldn't get my key to turn in my car door. Little lipoma there, and so after 10 minutes of blowing and turning, finally, and I'm late to go to school. Finally, I got it done, or finally I was able to, and then later. I bought this graphite, so I'm if this ever happens again, I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah.
But never happened again. And then I always thought it was funny because I kept it in the car, so if it ever happened again, I could get it out, Okay, so that was just a little lipoma. Came out great. So just going to put just a deep stitch or 2 in here, and we're done. But yeah, I absolutely loved Wisconsin. We almost stayed there after we were done with residency. We were really close. But
my
wife,
sons would love to go.
Oh my gosh, that's a hockey mecca.
Yeah.
my daughter, they live in St. Louis, and her husband's from Green Bay.
Go ahead and dab that.
And his whole life is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm happy when they win. Once you go there, it's they're pretty passionate.
They are.
And it helps to cheer for a team that's done good, for years. So.
Well, I grew up a 49er fan.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid they were really bad, but all of a sudden Joe Montana came around, and Stevie Young.
Yeah.
My daughter got so involved. She still flies to 49er games. She's got one of her friends makes all the arrangements.
Go grab a 6-0.
and she gets to stay at the motel that the 49ers stay at and eat at the dinner.
Really?
With the 49ers.
Oh, really? Well, it's because her dad got her into it, and then she took it and ran.
Well, when we lived in St. Louis, I became a St. Louis Cardinal fan. The greatest baseball town I've ever seen. Well, I grew up with San Francisco, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan. My daughter read me the riot act. Dad, you don't ever change teams. You're a San Francisco Giant fan. You're a 49er fan. You big traitor. She wouldn't speak to me for 2 weeks when
I said the same thing to my son about his hockey team.
Yeah. You get involved with it, but
Gotta stay loyal to him.
Every time he tells a story, I feel a comparison. Because I honestly grew up because Steve Young played at BYU.
You bet.
I grew up a Niners fan, but not as passionate as others because they're way far away. But then when I went to Wisconsin, it was easier to switch to. So your daughter would be like, "I can't believe you switched too." But I never
Deep
really. Yeah, it's still deep, so you can go all the way down. Thank you. So yeah, but it was fun to cheer for the Packers because they were pretty good for all.
Well,
those years.
I think when I talk with people here in Utah, most of them are 49er fans, and I think it's because of Steve Young.
Yeah, and it's really because nothing else was, at least football teams, nothing else was that like close.
Yeah.
You know. And it helps when someone's winning Super Bowls. And you saw him play in college, and there's no other one, school close by or whatever. So that's so funny. That's exactly what happened. I had a little trash can with the 49ers, so I did have some memorabilia.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, so how many kids do you have?
Well, I have a son and a daughter.
Son and daughter.
The reason we came out here was because our first grandson was getting bored.
Oh, cool.
And my wife just died and went to heaven. She's so happy here in Utah County. We've lived in St. Louis and Atlanta and Seattle and 4 or 5 towns in California. And Utah County just is so much different.
Yeah, it's
safe.
It's a great place to live. It is safe and good economy and beautiful mountains.
It's beautiful here.
Having family nearby is huge.
We lived in Iowa before Des Moines, and
Did you?
Des Moines has 99 counties, and they're all square and all the same size. It's the most boring state I've ever been in. But man, was it cheap to live in. We had a condominium there. It was a beautiful condominium.
Yeah.
$120,000. That same condominium here in Utah would be $300,000.
Double. Yeah, I always liked Iowa. As I was driving across Wyoming to go to school in Wisconsin, I'm like, Wyoming was like windswept and not that many trees, and then Nebraska lasted forever, but it was better than Wyoming, as far as the drive.
Wyoming, the snow goes sideways.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
A lot of wind. Beautiful. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching our video. We enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to press the thumbs up button or subscribe.